Okay, one more time. Page 23. Do now number 6. Copy the question. What is Steve Biko trying to tell us? The most potent weapon in the hands of the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed. Steve Biko. If you need pen, pencil, pencils are over there, paper is over here. There are 3 minutes on the clock. I think this is our class. Hey, class.
Yes.
Oh, nice. Class.
Yes.
Class.
Yes.
Let's pause for a quick second. I want to make sure, I think some of us are getting stopped with 2 words in this do now. I want to clarify it for you so that you understand the whole quote. Okay. The first word is potent. Okay. What does potent mean? The most potent weapon. What could you replace that with?
Powerful.
The most powerful weapon, yes. The most powerful weapon in the hands of the oppressor. The other word that we're getting stuck with is oppressor. So I'm asking you, what does oppression mean? No one else? Oppression means the act of being pushed down and kept down. Somebody's trying to keep you down. Okay? Someone with power is trying to oppress you. Okay? So again, the most powerful, I replace potent with powerful. So on your, if you copy the quote, replace these words. The most powerful weapon in the hands of someone that's trying to keep me down, okay, is the mind of the oppressed. So if it's oppressed, what does that mean? Who is the oppressed? The one that's being kept down. Okay? So now think about the quote again. What is the most powerful weapon in the hands of someone who's trying to oppress people, right? And is the mind of the person being kept down? Your mind. Okay? Someone's oppressing you, the strongest weapon is your brain, your mind. What's he trying to tell us? Does that help? Did it help you? Okay. I'm gonna put the words on the side just in case you forgot. I wish I had a better board. And it has to be someone with power. The best example is slavery, right? Somebody had power, the masters had power, and they were keeping the slaves oppressed because they didn't have power. Okay, that's the best example, but it's not the only example. Okay, first, oppressed. Okay, I'm gonna start the timer again. Don't let the fact that you're not truly sure what he's saying stop you from writing. There's no right or wrong answer. We don't have even people right in front of us to tell us what he meant, so we have to guess. This is what it's about, guessing. I'll be right back. You were what? Oh, it's this one. I know I changed it. This is my clock. So we don't have a clock. Nope. Class.
Yes.
Class.
Yes.
Nice. Okay. So what we're gonna do now is you're gonna share with your partner. Remember, actually, not just your partner, your table. I'm gonna pass out the dry erase boards, and remember that you're going to together put something. Put something together of what you think Stephen Biko is trying to say based on what you each thought. Okay. One person will write it, one person will share it out. You decide who does it, or you can let the table mat help you decide because it has numbers on it. And I'm going to tell you right now, the person closest to number 1 will be the share out person. The person closest to number 3 will be the recorder. Okay, and you'll see right now when I place the mats on your table what that means. And if there's no person by that number, again, I said closest to. Closest to that. I'll try over it. Don't forget when you're ready to spread, just put the map. All right. 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yes, what are you doing? What's up?
You're better. Don't worry, it's not for you guys. Right. Okay. We got 16 seconds on the clock, ladies and gentlemen. 16 seconds. Hey, thank you. Class,
Yes.
class.
Yes.
All right, I give you a point right there.
Hey, Miss,
And that's my marker.
We're supposed to have 2 quiz now.
Okay. You are correct. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to share out table by table. I hear some talking. I'll get myself a point right now. Okay, table by table, and remember, it's whatever your group decided together, what you're gonna report out, okay? We're gonna start off with this fact table right here, since we started over there. So go ahead. Hold on, Diane. I wanna just make sure to remind people to respect each other and hold the talking while we hear from our peers, because maybe it'll help us out. Take it from the top, Diane. The mind is more powerful than hands. Okay. Got it. So you think Stephen Biko is trying to say that the mind is stronger than the hand? Metaphorically, yes. Okay. Next team, go ahead. Okay, someone that's being kept down now has no power. Has more power than the person that has power. Okay. Go ahead. But why? Why is it the most powerful weapon? It should have been, thanks for my point. When you don't do the task correctly, that's okay. And that's it? That's all we got? Did we have a hard time with the quote? Okay. So you could start off with saying we had a hard time, but we think this is what it means, and it cannot be the same thing that was on there. Okay. Right here, this team right here, go ahead, Heidi. And Dominic and Jaden, you want to give me all my points today, or you're gonna hold the top? Okay, thank you. Okay, if they don't, someone who's powerful can bring someone down if they don't have confidence. Okay, go ahead. Say that a little bit louder. It sounds good, but I want you to say it a little bit louder. Can actually hurt someone mentally, is that what you said? And bring them down? Yeah. Okay. Go ahead, last team. So people with a weak mindset, I didn't hear the last thing. When they get put down by people that are powerful, what happens to them? Okay, all right. They don't fight back. Okay, so Stephen Biko, how many of you guys have heard of Stephen Biko? Anyone? Anyone know Stephen Biko? Okay. It is my hope that next year in world history, you're gonna learn about Stephen Biko. Stephen Biko was a leader in South Africa, okay? South Africa had a system of apartheid, separation, keeping black, white, colors separate, okay? Much later than the United States had it. their liberation or their change in laws happened recent, not too long ago in my lifetime. Okay, I was alive and a kid when it happened. Why you think I'm old? I ain't that old yet. Okay. But Stephen Biko often said this. I want you to keep thinking about it. Okay? Powerful weapon. When someone is trying to keep someone down, what's the best way that you can control a person from in their place? Maybe you can insult them, but they can be like, whatever, I'm not gonna believe you. What's the best way? What is the best way? Is the best way to convince them? Hey, what's up? You need something from me? Oh, you need my whole class, huh?
Real quick. Peter, Martin, yeah, David, Rafael.
Okay, Heidi, Cesar, oh, Bricia, and Jaden just got back to class.
I just need the favorite Chromebooks. Does everybody have a Chromebook? I just need the number in the back.
Okay. All right, cool. So they can just step outside and give it to you and then be right back. Okay. Y'all can do that while we move on. Did it stop recording? What did you recording? Okay. So today, my hope is that you're going to understand this quote better, okay? Because from generally what a lot of people share, you didn't quite get it, but you're gonna get it, okay? So today we're gonna review again the same things. We didn't finish the 4 eyes of oppression scenario, so we're gonna go back to that handout, finish it, and make sure that we understand what they're trying to tell us. Then we're gonna do a pause and process for those scenarios and really try to understand what are the 4 eyes of oppression. This is gonna be related to your summative assessment. So you wanna make sure that you understand it, okay? We're gonna watch 2 videos today, black and white now, and you're gonna take notes, thinking about the 4 eyes of oppression, and you're gonna watch a class divided, which is an experiment that was done in the 1950s, and thinking about the 4 eyes of oppression, okay? So you're gonna practice, identify, okay? By the end, we might come back to this quote and see if you understand it a little bit better, okay? So let's go back. Let's remind ourselves what we were doing yesterday. Yesterday, our goal was to read and connect the scenarios to the 4 eyes of oppression. We only finished 5 of them in class. We're gonna finish the other 5. I'm gonna give you 10 minutes to do that, okay? Reminder, I gave you 10 scenarios. With your partner, you should have been with a partner. You were to like work through it together and to read carefully and think critically about each scenario, okay? Is there anyone except for Jaden maybe that does not have the handout? You were out yesterday and you don't have it. Okay, Angel. So I gotta get the handout to you. The rest of you guys have it. So open your composition book, take out the handout. You got 10 minutes to finish those scenarios. And this is not a quiet activity. Yep. This is like talk to your table, talk to each other. Don't do it by yourself. To see this. Well, they're not logged in, but I've thought about this. No, because you gotta come to school.
We might go back online.
But you lessons at home. But just know, I give you a stamp for your completed assignments. If they're not completed in the classroom, it doesn't matter. Oh, I thought I came around, but remind me. I started to come around over here and then I always get stopped by people. Here we go. What page does this handout go on? Page 20? Right? Oops, hold on. I forgot to give you a point, but I'm gonna give myself a point because I need everyone's attention. Class.
Yes.
Class.
Yes.
I need your attention and follow along. You're gonna give me the answers. If you think you got it correct, you gotta tell me why you think it's ideological, okay, or institutional, or internalized, or interpersonal, okay? We're gonna start off with the first one. A study by researchers at Northern University, Harvard, and the Institute of Social Research in Norway looked at every available field experiment on hiring discrimination from 1989 through 2015. The researchers found that anti-Black racism in hiring is unchanged since at least 1989. They concluded that white applicants received 36 more callbacks than equally qualified African Americans, while white applicants received an average of 24 more callbacks than Latinos. This one was a tricky one. It stopped me too. I was like, which one could it be? So I want to see what you think it could be. This is an example of what you put right here. What is an example? They did a study. They discovered that white people get hired more than Black people. What is it? What two could it be? It could be ideological. Why? Why could it be ideological? Okay, they believe that one group is better. They're more worthy of being hired. Okay. Is there another one that it could be too? Institutional. Why, Alberto? Because the white people have an advantage in the hiring process. Okay. I think if you justify those, yes, and they might be both of them. So you could say this is ideological and institutional. And you justify it by saying because one group receives what? An advantage over the other. Okay? Don't make fun of my race. I need to be copying this down because I don't want blank papers today. Good. Adjust what you need. Okay, number 2. Upon its establishment, the founding fathers of the United States of America signed the U.S. Constitution, which states in the 13th Amendment of the Bill of Rights, neither slavery nor involuntary servitude. You want to go ahead and put a point on that part? What? Whoever's making the noise is coming from over here. Okay, except as a punishment for crime whereof the party shall be duly convicted shall exist. So basically this said there's no more slavery unless you're what? No, unless you're in prison. So they ended slavery, quote unquote, but they kept it unless you've been put in prison. Yeah, I think so. This is institutionalized. Why? Because there is a what?
Policy.
There's a policy or law. That's why. That says this.
I'm going to Harvard.
Institution. Okay? Because there is a law in place that makes slavery legal. Did you know that? That slavery is still legal?
Right now?
Yes.
Where?
How do you end up being a slave?
By going to prison.
If you go to prison. What kind of people end up going to prison? Okay, think harder. Yes, criminals. Okay.
Yes.
Diane,
Wrongly accused people.
wrongly accused people, and usually who are the wrongly accused?
African American and Latino.
African American and Latino.
It's because they're not American.
Okay,
So they can enslave white people that
they do enslave white people, but there are higher numbers of African American and Latino people in prison than there are whites. Do they commit the same crime? Yeah, they do, yeah. Did you know that there was this law, there's still this law instituted in the state of California that's called the 3 strikes? Means that if you get an offense, no matter what the offense is, on the 3rd one, you end up going to prison. And usually it is small offenses like drug dealing. And there are white people who drug deal. But what tends to happen is oftentimes they might be from a affluent neighborhood. They might even let them go because, oh, you're a good kid. You have a future ahead of you.
Miss,
Yes.
like that one boy who killed that one.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, that's a really good
The
example.
guy who had the Lamborghini right on the mom.
Yeah. Yeah. That is correct. That guy, what's his name? Redenhouse? Yeah.
It was like it was a Lamborghini right on the mom and the baby.
Oh, I don't know about that one. Was he white?
Yeah, and they let him go because his dad.
So usually what tends to happen, listen careful, this is why I caution you, be careful with the law. Be careful because under the law, it treats you differently if you're a person of color and if you're a person that doesn't have enough money to get a lawyer. Okay?
No.
Class,
Yes.
let's move on. 3, 1 in 4 women, 25% say they have earned less than a man who was doing the same job and 1 in 20 working men, 5% say they have earned less than a female peer. What is it? We thought it was ideological. It could also be what?
Institutional.
Institutional, yeah. Not interpersonal. Interpersonal is when a group, like, I'm being mean to another girl because of what she looks like, and that's me projecting a perspective. Ideological / institutional. I'm not gonna give you the because you should do the because, but I'm giving you the word. Number 4, a 2013 report of the National Coalition of Anti-Violence Program found that transgender people are at higher risk of homicide than other LGBTQ community people. Trans women of color, who accounted for 67% of anti-LGBTQ homicide victims, were particularly at risk. What's this one? I think this one is interpersonal. People are being violent towards LGBTQ community. Internalized is when somebody who's LGBTQ believes that they are less than because they continue to be told that.
Told you, Daniel.
Okay. And those kinds of comments are the reason why things like that happen. So we got to be aware of how we say things, Dominic. Number 5. Interpersonal. Oppression. Okay. If you can fit oppression in there, fit it in there. In February, police say a white man in Kansas went to a bar and shot 2 men from India, one fatally, after reportedly telling them to get out of the country. Interpersonal. Good. And that was our image, remember? Wasn't our image interpersonal, saying something negative to someone else? So if you tell somebody, learn the language, go to your country, that's you projecting a
That
feeling.
is, Miss, that is foul language.
Okay. In 1960, fewer than 200,000 people were in prison / jail in all of the United States. Today, several states have more than that. Our nation has more people and higher rates of incarceration than any nation in the world. What is it? Internalized?
Ideological.
Ideological? What did I tell you, Cesar? Did I say this one was? Institutional. I think this is institutional. I forgot that oppression was right here, sorry. Because. You write the because. I'm not writing your because. Come on, I already right here participating. Number 7. Prior to the end, just so you guys know, I'm taking time for this because I want you to make sure that you got it correct.
This is the top one. Oh, yeah.
Institutional. 7. Prior to the 1800s, it was believed that people with disabilities were evil and possessed by the devil or were being punished for a prior sin. I'm gonna stop right there. That should tell you something. What is it? Ideological. Why? The word believe is in there. Okay? So this one's ideological. Okay, number 8. Approximately 7 in 10 girls report a decline in body confidence and increase in appearance anxiety, which they say is driven by the pressure of perfection from the media and advertising unrealistic standard of beauty. Yes, internalized. Right? Because they have now been told so many times by the media, this is how you should look.
Body shaming.
Body shaming, good. Number 9, according to the American Psychological Association, men are less likely than women to seek help regarding their mental health, which may likely be due to ideals of masculinity. I'm gonna stop right there. What do you think it is? Ideological? Let's continue. This idea of tough men who doesn't struggle with any emotions can force men to withstand untreated mental health problems. This might explain why 25% of women, but only 15% of men take psychiatric medication. Men are suffering in silence. Men are suffering in silence. Men are suffering in silence.
It's personal.
Oh, internalized. Internalized. Okay. The reason why I say it's internal is I know it says ideals here, but often here's what it tells you. These standards are causing men not to seek out mental health because they have been told what? Be a tough guy. Okay? Don't, like, that's lame if you're gonna go to seek out therapy. Okay? You know it, gentlemen, you know it.
Liz, but have you noticed that it's mostly other males telling, like,
Yes.
male
Yeah.
telling that? Because it's not female telling male that.
Yeah.
It's mostly the males. that are
Yeah,
telling
and it can
each other
also
that.
be interpersonal, but I think the reason why it's internalized is because they have internalized that belief that that's how they need to be. But yes, you're right. It is how we project it upon each other. And it's also a whole system of things that has set it up for men to believe that's what it's a long, deep history. In the US, 1 in 3 women and 1 in 6 men experience some form of contact sexual violence in their lifetime. Oh, this one's tricky.
I think ideological.
Interpersonal, why? You two said interpersonal, why? Oh, okay. Experience some form of sexual violence towards women. Yeah, okay. I take it. Interpersonal. Okay. Let's see if we, interpersonal, internalize, did we get all of them in here? Okay, good, at least one, okay. So it's tricky, but guess what? All of these 4 eyes of oppression interact together. So the videos that we're gonna watch today, the first one is gonna highlight one example of how internalized oppression happens, okay? So I'm gonna ask you to do a couple things right now. Number 1, make sure that you put this paper on the right page. So this should be on page 20. Make sure you have a title for it for, oh, you know what? That's not how it goes. But 4 eyes of oppression. Scenarios. Okay, make sure that it says that. Make sure that you dated today's date, 2022. Okay. And before we move on right here, you're gonna do a quick pause and process the activity. So you're gonna do pause and process. Yes, ma'am.
19 are Yuna.
No, that's why I put it on 20, what did I say, 21? Or was it 23? Did I skip that many pages?
Yeah, because 19
No way, I got the page wrong for you guys.
I told you, man.
Oh, shit. Nobody told me. Oh, yes, you did tell me.
I told you I was 23.
It's okay. We'll fix it right now. Don't worry. If you did it on the right
Hey,
page,
man, you
you're
told
okay.
me.
That's
you
I'm
told
so
me
confused.
like,
It's okay. We got it. What did you say? This goes on page 20. Okay? And you're gonna do a pause. If you did your do now right here, just draw a line below it and do your pause and process right there if you already did. Then later put it in the right place, which for now is gonna be on page 20. What page did I tell you? 23? Damn, I royally messed up. You see? Okay, I'll give you a point. I'll give it to you because Dominic did point it out, and I was like, "It's cool, Dominic."
Yes, it's the 19.
See, I put page 23. It should have been page 21. That was my fault. It's okay. Just leave it there. What we're gonna do today for the video, we'll go on those 2 pages and we'll adjust. It's fine. I messed up. Okay, so let's do what you're gonna put on 19. Page 19 is your pause and process. So what you're gonna do there is you're just going to take 3 minutes to write your answer to this question. What is oppression? Oppression is blank. For example, blank. This shows blank. In conclusion, blank. Okay, 3 minutes. Test your knowledge. By the end, you should be able to write more than that. Yes. You got it. 3 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. That's all you need. And while you're doing that, I'll set up for the next week. That page 19, please. That's not page 19. You haven't organized your competition. Okay, so it's very important that you do it. And now you're like getting the figures on the your competition book. Do it right here. Okay, so that when you get your notebook, you just gonna paste this in there. This is a notebook? Yeah. But did you number your pages? You didn't number your pages.
Yeah.
Oh. So you're supposed to number your pages. All right, so I'm gonna start you on. That one, 17. Put 17 on this. Where did you put this? Oh, that one's supposed to be easy. And just start from page 19. Even if it's out, start from page 19. And then you'll just fix it from there. What is oppression? That is incorrect, Miguel. It's okay if you still don't know what oppression is. My hope is by the time we're done with the unit, you'll be able to explain it. Huh?
We thought the odd numbers were now.
It's do nows and also reflection.
Oh,
So anytime we do something, we're gonna pause and reflect. Okay, remember I said only 3 minutes, write what you can. I don't know why this is suggested. I'm still recording. Okay. See, this is what I thought was gonna be the real thing, but it's not. So I'm gonna change that up. Okay, you got 2 more minutes if you're still writing, because I need to adjust something based on my mess up right here. So, and at home, ignore all this stuff. Resume recording so that if you're at home, you're setting up page 21 and 22, it should look like this. We're resuming tomorrow. Over and out.